Hey everyone, it's Wolf614 back at it again with another video here on the channel today. This is race 25, I believe, of 27 of our Bass Pro Shops Racing League season. And before we hop into anything, I wanted to preface this with a quick announcement. If you know, you know, Forza Horizon 6 is on the horizon, pun intended, and it comes out, for me at least, in Eastern Standard Time, at midnight from Thursday night into Friday. So Friday, May 15th at midnight, the game comes out, and I will be streaming live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/wolf614_, and that is the top link in the description of this video. And yeah, I will be streaming pretty much the whole night as that game comes out. I'm super excited, super pumped to make content on it. And yeah, with that, we shall hop into the point standings heading into this one. A little update from Indianapolis. I'm up 14 points over NASCAR Fan, 23 over KLF. Everybody else pretty far off from there. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to hop on into the qualifying results. We had a lot of people field fill this race. We had an open session basically for anybody from our Xfinity League, our Cabela Series League, to jump up and run in the Cup Series. And yeah, let's hop on in. So it'd be KLF picking up a pole once again with newcomer up top in second with NASCAR and Cord in row 2, myself and Timmy row 3 with Ghost and Smoke in row 4, TR and Brock in row 5 with Freak and Viper in row 6, and rounding out the field in the back was Waylon.
Deal with it, you start at the back. Go, go, go. Yeah, you should. That'd be fucking ass.
On to stage 1 and the start of the race here, myself from 5th, trying to work the bottom. The bottom was super good on the restarts all night. You'll see that plenty of times throughout this. And we would work our way quickly past Cord, and then right up alongside up top. We'd almost get into NASCAR. Cord would drop to the bottom with a push from Smoke to push us through and to keep this bottom train moving and rolling. I would then get to the inside of NASCAR, but I would start to slide up on the base setup, which was really poor here. Cord would be lagging a little bit, ghosting out. He would get around me. I would drop to 4th for the moment until lap 3 here. I would get back around him. He would make the mistake, and I would start to push and try to make a pass on the front 2 leaders, who are my 2 championship rivals. Here you can see me drop underneath NASCAR with a good draft from KLF helping pull me along, and I would complete that pass and look to the bottom for the lead. For the moment, I would snag it just for a second in the middle of the corner. However, I would start to slide up and have to get off the gas to make sure I wouldn't hit KLF on the inside, and NASCAR would work about rolling back by me on the outside, and he would complete that pass. On lap 8, I would get to the outside of KLF finally, and then we would work our way around him with up top pushing me through. That would be a pass for second, and up top would get into the wall there, which would allow KLF to remain side by side, but I would end up completing the pass off the exit of the corner. On lap 10, into turn 1, I would get way too high on the base setup. The tires get old. I would get into the wall, lose the spot to KLF, lose the spot to up top, but stay in front of Timmy Time there in 5th. On lap 20 here, I had caught up top, and KLF NASCAR had put a decent amount of distance in between us. I would end up coming down to get off the base setup shorter than all the leaders in front of me, which is exactly what you want to do. Short pitting is the way to go. And yeah, we would come out on lap 22. Those 2 had just come out. KLF would be there. NASCAR would be there. 2 for 1 special, and I would clear to the lead. Now, on that restart, on that pit stop, KLF had gotten a speeding penalty, which would give him a black flag and drop him way down the order. You can see here where I was getting by some lap cars, there would be some lap car shenanigans that would go on. I would comfortably get around, but Freak would start to slide up the track and get into NASCAR with them being 3 wide, which would hurt him, but he would end up catching me later on lap 36. I was struggling poorly on the old tires, couldn't really do much. NASCAR would get to my inside, drop it way down to the bottom, and get the pass made, and I would not be able to do much of anything to get back around him. On lap 40 here, you can see us coming to the flag. My tires are completely shot from trying to see if I could get back around him. I'd have a decent run coming to the line, but he would have it covered off to get a stage win for himself. It would be NASCAR with the win, myself in second, Up Top in third, with Timmy in fourth, TR fifth with Smoke in sixth, Viper in seventh, Wayland's eighth, and KLF with a recovery after the black flag in ninth.
Huge. Big improve.
At the start of stage 2 here, and we would get off to a good start here. I know for some reason my footage was laggy for this and that one part in the first stage, but I would clear off into the lead pretty easily on the start and hold it for the moment because the bottom is the good line. I would get a little loose, get a little high. Unfortunately, we get Up Top down to the bottom of me. NASCAR to the top of me kind of put me in a weird spot as KLF would shove Up Top through to make the pass with himself along with. Viper would try to get by, but he wouldn't be able to make it stick, and I would stay in third for the moment. Here on lap 2 in the corner, I would get back around the top of KLF and just clear off of him and try to get to the bottom of Up Top to make the move. I would send it down deep into the corner, put the car right on the white line with KLF coming through to push me, but not. He would get 3 wide with me. We would stay that way for the moment. He would start to slide up the track. Viper would get into him a little bit, and I would take the lead heading toward a caution restart. So on that restart, Wayland would only take 2 tires to get track position to get out front. NASCAR would go behind him. We would have very few people on the outside because the inside was just so good on restarts. I would get no help on that restart as KLF and Cord would drive their ways to the inside of me on the bottom. However, I would get a decent runoff and maintain P4 here on lap 8 up to P3 with the inside getting slow. Wayland's slow on the 2 tires. I would get to the bottom of him and then start trying to work on getting a pass made on NASCAR fan. But here would come KLF. He would get to the bottom of me. I would get trapped in the middle. 3 wide, the 3 championship leaders all side by side through the middle of the corner, hanging it out, holding it out. KLF would get a bad run off the bottom as is usual. Wayland's would push NASCAR, but push him too hard. He would get a little tight in the corner. I would keep it on the middle, try to squeeze KLF on the bottom, get a decent run off, and actually be able to hop up in front of NASCAR here to clear him for second place for the moment. I would then run the outside. KLF would run the bottom, make the slide job pass, and hold on to it for the moment. On lap 12, I would then try it on the bottom myself, get to the lead. He would cut it back though, however, saw my move coming, not liking the slide job, a little door check there. We would both be slow. NASCAR would push us both. I would get to the outside, but KLF would send it down the bottom and hold the position. On lap 13, I would get another good run off the corner with Up Top behind me this time. On to lap 14, I would get to the bottom once again, trying to clearing again. However, KLF once again would get the crossover move done. A beautiful pass to maintain the first position. On lap 15 now, NASCAR would get to the outside. I would try to drop it down the bottom once again. However, it would not work, and I would lose a lot of positions on the run. KLF would get by me. NASCAR would get by me. And then Timmy and Up Top would scoot their way by, and then here on lap 21, or on lap 20. NASCAR would stay high with Timmy getting into the wall. KLF would slide up the track, causing a big spin to occur. NASCAR would slide only by himself since our cautions are 2 or more people. It would lead to everybody getting mixed up and NASCAR getting hurled down the order. Up Top would pass me on lap 23 as I was trying to basically regain my bearings from a major championship implication moment. I would then get back by Up Top here on the exit of the corner as he would smack the wall, and I would be able to get around him on the outside right here with the good run off the exit of the corner. We would then come into pit on lap 25 onto lap 26. I would get off far better than him. There's KLF on the bottom, which would be the pseudo lead once Ghost would pit, and I would be unopposed the rest of the way all the way to lap 42 to pick up a rare for me stage win in stage number 2. Second place would go to KLF, Up Top in third, Batman in fourth with Viper in fifth, TR in sixth, Timmy in seventh, Smoke in 8th, Whalen in 9th, and NASCAR getting a singular point down in 10th. On to stage 3 now, and we would start from the front, not losing the lead like NASCAR did, and we would be able to start on the bottom, which would be a very big help in working our way to trying to get a victory here at Vegas. We would stay on the bottom, get really squirrely in the middle of the corner. Up top would just touch KLF, but we would end up clearing off into the lead for the moment. Off of turn number 2, the storm was coming back through though. KLF would drop it way down to the bottom. With the fresh tires, he would be able to make it stick, and he would take over the lead for the moment until lap 85 here. You can see NASCAR fan get to his bottom. I would get shoved up into the wall by Whalen. A big shunt sending me way to the back. Along with up top, we would get screwed over, and I would drop all the way to 6th. However, here on lap 86, I would get to the bottom for 5th, and then start trying to work on my 2 Hypershock racing drivers in our Cabela's League here of Timmy and Viper. Timmy would go to the bottom, that wouldn't work. Viper would go up high. I would get a good run on him off the exit of the corner and hang on to 4th. Then on lap 88, I would get up into the wall, and Timmy would work his way back around me. I was struggling there. Just a lot of hitting the wall in this 3rd stage. You can see here on lap 91, Timmy goes to the bottom. Viper gets into the wall pretty hard. I would try to make a run in on the middle part of the track. Viper would get a good drive off, however, and I would get by Timmy for 4th place once again. Viper once again would get up into the wall. I would drop it underneath him and take over the 3rd position and try to start running down the leaders. On lap 92 here, you can see KLF and NASCAR both hit the wall hard. NASCAR hits it much harder, losing all the momentum. I would try and send it down to the bottom, all the way to the white line, hang the bottom of the corner, come up and clear for the position for the moment. However, he would cross me over, get back underneath, and take back the 2nd position. On lap 99, heading onto lap 100, you see NASCAR with another big mistake. I would try to get around the outside as he would slide off the wall. He would clear back around behind me as he was ghosting and lagging a little bit. However, I would hold on to P2 for the moment, and we would all come in at the same time on lap 100 onto lap 101 and all come off pretty evenly as I would get to the bottom of NASCAR fan on the corner, drop it down to the bottom and get him clear. However, he would cut it back across my nose and be able to get back by once again for the position as other guys tried to stay out long to catch a caution, which did not happen. You see here, lap 105, we are P2. You'd see KLF get screwed over a little bit by a lapper freak, once again involved in an incident. I would almost get into him, and same with NASCAR, which would put us right on the rear bumper of KLF for the lead. Now you can see here on the lap 109 coming on to lap 110, we're all very close together, very tight, all of us in a line. NASCAR would get a little bit too high, but he would get a good run off, get to the bottom of me, take the run all the way to the bottom of the track as KLF would try to block me from getting to his outside. They would go side by side into the corner. NASCAR wouldn't be able to hold it, however, and KLF would maintain the advantage. On lap 111, another bit of lap car shenanigans as NASCAR would try to drop it down the bottom, but it wouldn't work. KLF would get back by, as you can see on the bottom, a 2-car pileup, which would cause a caution at the line. On the restart here, you can see really big stack up. KLF would go late in the box. NASCAR and I would try to go early. It would not work, but KLF would bolt away as there was a little bit of carnage behind us, but everybody kept it going straight for the moment. NASCAR would keep it on the bottom, trying to take the line away from Timmy. I would follow suit on the bottom there, onto the back straightaway. Timmy would get a good push by up top to try and keep it side by side, but it wouldn't work. The bottom is supreme on the first lap of every restart, and we would drive ourselves up into 3rd. We're going to move now using the speed from KLF's draft to get up into 2nd place. We would then go to the outside on lap 117, just get a little touch from up top, and on 118, trying the same thing once again to try and get by KLF, get a good run off the corner. He would get tight, and we would be able to make the pass, clear into the lead for the moment. KLF wouldn't be able to cut it underneath us as we dragged Timmy and Up Top along with us, and we would have the lead for that time being. NASCAR, you can see down in the bottom of my mirror, way on the bottom, lots of cars all together, 4 wide into the corner, and it would slow down everybody as I would clear off and build a small gap. Here on lap 20, however, KLF would escape from the pack and get to the bottom of me. He would try to make the move, slide up the track the same way he did the NASCAR fan. It wouldn't work. He would get up into the wall, and I would be able to sneak back by on the bottom to get the crossover done to hold the lead. On lap 123 here, you can see Timmy get too tight, up into the wall, give me more time, but it would allow NASCAR up into second, and he would start trying to run me down on lap 128, a 134, less than 10 to go, freak on the bottom. He would get out of my way, try to get back up, and hit NASCAR once again. But it wouldn't be over. He would start reeling me down as I got on old tires and I would get up into the wall. However, he would have nowhere to go, not enough time to react, plow into the back of me, and I would maintain the advantage. Heading into the back straightaway and into turn 3 and 4, he would try to drop it down the bottom but get too tight, would have to slide up the track and not be able to clear me as I would clear off into the lead. Coming to 1 to go here on lap 133 of 134, I'll let myself take over.
We want to play one to go spots by credit one back.
Oh god. Hang on to it. Hang it
It's
up
up to 3/10.
Easy on your tires then.
Fuck, it's too tight.
Viper, I
NASCAR
need
sends it
this.
in deep. It's not deep enough. Let's go, baby.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Across the line to win my 3rd race of the season from NASCAR fan in 2nd. Timmy, a great run in 3rd. KLF down in 4th with Up Top in 5th. Cord in 6th, Viper 7th, TR 8th, Smoke 9th, Brock in 10th, Waylon in 11th, and the others rounding out the field behind. So that would be all for this video today. I really hope you enjoyed. Now, let me pull up our point standings. We have substantially grown our lead in this league with only 2 races left to go. A great points day for me overall, as you can see here. And yeah, once again, I wanted to remind you to go to the top link in the description. Follow me on Twitch. We'll be streaming Forza Horizon 6 all the time, along with other games like this and MLB The Show. And with that, I do thank you for watching. And until next time, take it easy.